A Virginia Beach Circuit Court judge dismissed a lawsuit that attempted to stop Barnes & Noble bookstores from selling, quote, obscene books to children. Delegate and attorney Tim Anderson filed suit back in May against two books, Gender Queer and A Court of Mist and Fury. Anderson argued that both books contain sexual content. Dana Smith joins us live in studio with the latest on the court's decision.
David, Tim Anderson said his lawsuit is not about banning books, it's about protecting kids from sexual material. But the defense argued it's not the court's place to decide what a bookstore can or cannot sell. The court agreed.
I think to have the government come in and say you cannot show these images, you cannot talk about this subject, that is what would be obscene.
Jeff Trexler, the attorney for the author of the book Gender Queer, said it would be blatantly unconstitutional for a court to decide what books are too obscene for children. Back in May, Delegate and attorney Tim Anderson filed a lawsuit asking a circuit court judge to stop Barnes & Noble from selling the books to minors without parental consent. He filed on behalf of his client, Tommy Altman, a conservative running for Congress.
We have movies, video games, music, all have warnings. You can't sell an R-rated ticket to a child, but books, there's nothing. It's Wild West.
Anderson insisted this isn't a book ban. He said it's about parent choice. Attorneys for Barnes & Noble saw differently.
Do you think this was an attempt to try to ban books?
Of course. You're trying to use criminal law to make it a penalty, potentially a crime, to sell books.
Circuit Court Judge Pamela Baskerville dismissed Anderson's case on the grounds that it's not the court's place to legislate. She said there is no law that gives the court the authority to determine if the books are obscene to minors. Anderson said he is considering an appeal or possible legislation to introduce a book rating system, like rating systems for video games, movies, and music.
An appeal in May, we're going to look at that. I'm a member of the General Assembly. There's a possibility I may introduce some legislation to try to fix this.
Anderson has 30 days to decide whether to file an appeal. He said that gives him and his client time to decide the next step. Meanwhile, attorneys for Barnes & Noble say as far as they're concerned, this matter is over. Dana Smith, 13 News Now.
This dismissal means Barnes & Noble and other bookstores can continue to sell the books as usual. Anderson said there should be a different standard of obscenity for children than adults.